Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And this Wednesday episode is sponsored by our awesome sponsors, Gray Fox Games.
Way to use sponsor twice in the same sentence.
Yeah. Sponsored by our awesome sponsors?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Jeff, you don't sound like you're dying anymore.
I mean, I'm still dying. I'm just not dying as fast anymore.
Oh, you've
You're
returned to a
dying
normal...
like normal. A normal rate of dying.
Normal rate of we're still quickly headed that way, but it's not as fast as it was. We're like American rail system, not like Japanese commuter train system.
Gotcha.
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get there. It just
Yeah, it's going to take a couple days. But I was in bed for many days in a row.
Yeah, I know you'd mentioned... You were unusually active on Slack.
Yeah, because I couldn't do anything else except sleep because I was just... Fatigue is part of bronchitis, and it just drains everything out of you. Thursday, I slept all day. I went to the bathroom, and I got some more water for when I would wake up coughing and need water. And that's all I did all day. Didn't watch Netflix, didn't do anything. I slept and sat in bed and then went to the bathroom and then repeated.
You continue to live up to last week on the Q&A when we had to like say something nice about each other, which was a really hard thing for us to do apparently. We said your ability to just like keep on keeping on is amazing. And then after that episode, you're like, let's add bronchitis to that list.
Yeah.
Well, really, it was like during that episode.
Currently.
We just didn't know it was bronchitis at the time.
No.
Yeah, no, I was sick, but not nearly that. Mine knocked me on my ass for like 18 hours, and then I was okay.
Yeah.
I've been good.
But on Tuesday, they gave me the, you don't have to use crutches anymore, thumbs up. And then Wednesday, I was like, I'm going to just be in bed because I'm sick.
Yeah.
For, till basically yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And as we all know, that's great for blood clots.
Yeah.
Sedentary.
No, don't worry. They've given me the rat poison for that.
Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literal rat poison.
Yes, that is what warfarin is. It is literally rat poison. And apparently has interactions with literally everything.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Yeah. Well, just don't die again.
Yeah.
You've done enough dying recently, Jeff. Just choose life.
It really cuts into our podcast schedule if you keep almost killing yourself.
Yeah, multiple times.
So just don't do it, or
Or if you do it, just finally do it.
Yeah, get it over with.
We want to just, we want you to either be healthy or we want to get on with the mourning process.
We either want you to learn or succeed.
Oh, geez. Been not a terribly eventful time for me. I continued my week of training at the new job. And then on Friday, they were like, oh, hey, so work weeks here run Sunday to Saturday, which I guess they do in a lot of companies. It's just not normally something you think of because you work Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Like, that means that for you to get a full week of work next week, we're actually going to need you to come in on Sunday for about 12 hours. Like, oh, okay. I thought I was going to have 5 days off and be able to really get into my truck over the weekend and then maybe go up snowboarding and have some time to spend with Megan. Nope. 12-hour shift. Throw me to the wolves. So I did a 12-hour shift and it went not terrible. It went reasonably well.
It's a good thing we weren't planning on recording on that Sunday or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Originally.
I would have been fine recording that Sunday evening.
I guess, if you go in at 6?
6 to 6:30.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been pretty... I got home and I was pretty wiped out.
Yeah.
There had been talk of maybe trying to play brass Sunday evening, and I got home and I was like, nope. I'm not going to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I did enough high-tech, learning, following in-depth rules and procedures at work. I did not need to do that for a board game for fun for once.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like the job. I also found out on Sunday when I was doing that 12-hour shift, talking to the guy who I was following around and who was showing me how to do things, I found out that they pay an extra $1.70 weekend differential. So 24 of my 40 hours a week, I'll get paid an almost $2 an hour more.
Nice.
Yeah, not shabby.
No.
And then today I tore into my truck. And so from about 10 a.m. until, I don't know, about 7 o'clock p.m., barely before we started recording, I was out working on my 4Runner, trying to fix the strawberry milkshake.
That shotgunned its way into your radiator.
Yeah, it's the least appetizing strawberry milkshake you've ever seen. It'll make you hate strawberry milkshakes forever. I was doing some looking on Toyota forums, and apparently it might be a lot worse than I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they said it's pretty rare for you to have the strawberry milkshake and not have the transmission go out within the next 2,000 miles.
Ooh, gotcha.
So,
woo.
We'll see. I'm gonna do everything it's apparently a regular enough problem with the 3rd gen 4Runners, which run from 97 to 01. So it's like a 5-year span of 4Runners that all somewhere between 10 and 20 years of age blow their transmissions into their radiators. It's a regular enough problem that super 4Runner fan people, because those exist,
yes,
actually install a separate transmission cooler so that their transmissions don't go anywhere near their radiator anymore.
Gotcha.
But Toyota's never acknowledged it.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask if they had a name for it, because people Jeep people know about the death rattle.
It's the strawberry milk.
Yeah,
that's the name for it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So,
is that the noise my lungs are making?
No.
Okay,
that's
because there is a name for there is a name for the noise my lungs make. It's like bibliosar crackles or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I had that happen for a little bit too. It sounds like Rice Krispies or Pop Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Yep. It's only when you breathe, so it's fine.
It's only when
you exhale, and then right at the end of the exhale, you just hear, and you're just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
that sounds good.
Like Jeeps.
Yeah.
Death rattles.
Death rattle was just a violent shaking caused by but only when you're driving at 70 miles an hour.
Great.
Yeah.
Exactly when you want to have a death rattle.
Yes. It was due to the I don't know, I forget what it was, but how their struts were built or something like that.
Interesting.
To help with doing rock climbing and shit, the rock stuff that they do.
Yeah.
But it'll occasionally do an oscillating effect, and you're just like, oh god. And I've had it happen. It was not fun.
I'm sure it was not.
It was on I-25.
Great.
Yeah. Speaking of driving, I did a lot of that this weekend.
Yeah.
I picked up somebody from Red Rocks at 10 o'clock at night.
Are there shows?
No.
Okay.
I was like, there's a 5% chance I'm getting murdered. Someone had a wedding up there, which had to be fucking expensive.
I'm sure.
But
I wonder where.
I picked them up at the top circle, so the amphitheater, they had it.
Wow.
Yeah.
On the stage, maybe?
Yeah, and they were they were allowed to go into a lot of places in there too, apparently.
Huh.
So
weird.
Yeah. It was interesting driving up there pitch black when there were no lights from because I've gone up there at night to pick up people before, but there's a lot of lights everywhere because
there's a million cars.
Yeah, a million cars and shows.
Etc.
Yeah, no, it was just, and I went the back way too, and I was like, this feels weird. But yeah, otherwise driving was fine for me.
That's good.
I saw Us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which was Jordan Peele's new movie. I really liked it, but there's a lot to unpack at the end. It is definitely
as a movie about doppelgangers.
Yes,
I would suspect that would be roughly around the ending.
there's a lot of metaphors and shit, and you straight up have to either your suspense of disbelief holds or it doesn't in the movie,
or it snaps.
Yeah, because there's some things you're you just got to buy this, otherwise, you're gonna start questioning everything. So, but it was really well acted. Lupita killed it.
Yeah, I've seen the reviews and they're all fantastic.
Yes. But Paul and David saw it, and Paul didn't like it, but David did, and I was like, I'm not surprised by either of those.
Yeah.
So I can understand if someone watched it and is like, I didn't like this at all. I don't know if I liked it more than Get Out or not, but I would 100% show, if someone had not seen either of them, I would show them Get Out 100 times first.
Gotcha.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10, I would show that one first. Not I would show them Get Out 100 times before they could watch us.
They would probably get tired of that movie
Yes, they
after
would.
100 viewings.
Yeah. It's like that podcast where they reviewed the same movie over and over again for a year.
Was it
Every week.
Grown Ups 2 or something?
Yeah, and then they went to
Sex and the City
Sex and the
2?
City too. Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday, when I could actually function as a person, I laid and watched Love, Death, Robots
Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
such a good-
It's really good.
on Netflix. It's like 18 little mini shorts.
And like from 5 minutes to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
I highly recommend everyone watch them.
Apparently, you get a different order too, randomly.
I did not. And it seemed like,
Well, there's 4 different ones, and I think it's based on like sort of what you like to watch.
oh,
but
okay, maybe that's from the people I had chatted with. My order was the same as theirs.
yes, I think, and we had the same one.
So far, everybody I've talked to has had the same order.
Yeah. They're all real good, and
real
everyone
good.
should watch them. And I don't want to say any more because they're all really, really good, and you should
Yeah.
go into them not knowing much.
I'd say that
The most
mature. They're mature.
yes,
So
lots of boobs,
yeah.
lots of penises,
Uh-huh.
lots of gore,
Yeah.
multiple dead children.
Yes.
Like they've hit their quota for gore and violence on all of these, top to bottom. But some are funny, some are serious, some are horror. Like
Yes.
the one thing that annoys me about reading up on all of these shorts is everyone's fucking comment is, I want this as a series. I want this as a movie. I want this as a video game. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. These are all shorts. They were literally only could be made like this because they would be way too expensive to do anything more than like 15 minutes.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. But that's,
But
it was-
still, I would like a lot.
yeah. But like every fucking comment
Yeah.
on all of these like Reddit threads, because there was one for like each episode.
Yeah.
Like the top one's like, I want this as a movie. Oh, I want the next one as a fucking video game.
Yeah.
It's just like, shut the fuck up. You're not like, oh my God. That's just people being annoying.
Yeah.
But they're all real good.
Yes.
I watched the ones I liked, I have watched like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I watched the first one randomly and then ended up like 2 nights later because it was with like Megan and she didn't super like it. It was the
Sunny's Edge.
Sunny's Edge, and she didn't like love it.
Monster fighting.
Yeah. So then I waited for like a night when she was at work and I didn't have anything to do, and I was like, I'll watch some of these, and then I proceeded to watch the next 17 of them.
Yep.
Which was, in my opinion, an excellent investment of my time.
Yeah. And there are 17 of them are CG/animated, and then there's one that uses real life people.
Yeah, out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, hello.
Hello, actors I recognize.
Yeah. Some of them I really liked. There were a few, like the Hitler one, that I thought was really bad.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I thought the average enjoyment level across all of them was high.
Yeah, and they're not all serious.
No.
No.
So that 3 Robots one,
Yeah.
I've watched it now a couple more times because I watched it with Megan. She really likes that
Yeah.
one a lot. And it's grown on me.
I-
At the time,
I know.
like,
I would assume part of it's just due to the tonal whiplash of Sunny's Edge to that.
yes. And that's exactly what it was. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
But-
you get used to that kind of tonal
Yeah,
whiplash
exactly, yeah.
when they go from Sunny's Edge, 3 Robots, and then The Witness. And it's like, wait, what the?
Yeah.
So,
And then into the Suits one, farming one.
oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was in
was-
between.
that was right after The Witness.
And then they do, or no, because that's number 4.
Yeah. But pretty much all these are based off of like actual like short stories or like
Oh, really?
collections and stuff like that. Yeah, these are all like things you can go and read in a book. And
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
So if there's ones that you like, you can be like, I want more of that, and you go read the book, and you'll get more. Like the not Aquila, but the space trucker one, where they go into the sleep pod, and then they get
Oh yeah.
the
Station Aquila. Or something.
yeah.
Through the Aquila Gate.
yes
Or
yeah.
past the Aquila Gate.
Yeah, yeah. That's an actual short story that you can go
Okay.
out there and read. Like the blue artist one. That's like the Zen Blue or whatever the name was called.
Yeah, it wasn't Zen Blue, but
Yeah.
something.
The blue artisty one.
Yes.
That's from like a whole collection of like short stories. And that's like
Okay.
the title one of it.
Ah,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Some of these might be original, but I know that a lot of these are like other things that were out there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because I can get where people would like to see more in some of these universes. Like, I'd love to see more about the monster fighting in Sunny's Edge.
So that is part of a long book series, but the monster thingy takes place like 400 years before it, and then the rest of the book series has nothing to do with monsters fighting each other. It's like a space thing.
Gotcha.
It's not like, yeah. I looked that up as well, but
or like I want to know. I don't necessarily want like a full movie or anything set in the farmer one.
Yeah.
The mech farmers. But I want to know more of the
how,
how and why.
Well, I mean, a lot of them are like,
no, they're not thick enough for the whys.
Yeah,
you're there for the moment.
Yeah,
and that's why they're like 12 minutes long.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, like the desert one, like that one, of course, you can't ask why. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing to that.
It's just cool,
trippy animated story.
Yeah,
real good series. Go check it out.
Yes, I was like, whatever, and then I just started watching it. The BFF CJ said he really liked it, so I was like, I'll watch it, and then I was hooked immediately. It was all right up my alley and what I wanted to watch.
Yeah,
the last one is the best. Oh, it's so good.
It is really good.
Oh, that's the Russian one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, for everyone knowing which one's the last one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And they're all gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. On that note,
yeah,
let's talk about what we've been playing.
Yeah.
Move on from what we've been doing and talk about what we've been playing. Zach, what have you been playing lately?
Not much. Jeff's sickness sort of derailed like when we could actually play Dinogetics or not.
Yeah.
And so, but on Wednesday, we did get a game of Cribbage in before Dinogetics, which went okay. I don't remember exactly what happened. I just remember it being like you almost winning and then Paul winning at the end or something like that.
So it was a pretty close game for pretty much the entire game. There was one time when, despite having my cards perfectly aligned in the run that I hadn't quite scored it, and Paul was about to jump in. I was like, wait, no, run. And he was like, what? No, you only noticed that because I started to point out that you missed something. And you were gracious enough, Zach, to be like, no, let him have it. Because I hadn't played Cribbage in over a
also
year.
I jumped the gun on scoring because I was the one
We
controlling
were using
the
a
app.
stupid bullshit app.
Yeah.
It's the worst fucking Cribbage app on the planet.
It's definitely not that, but it's not great, but it's not.
It's the worst Cribbage app I've ever used.
Sure, out of the one. So
it's not looking good for it.
And then so we were just playing that while we were waiting for Jeff to get there for Dinogetics.
And then wait for me to hobble in from parking forever away.
Yeah, no, that's the one. But one of the bad things about there is if you don't get there early, parking sucks.
And I missed like close. And as I was driving there, and I was like, there was a spot right in front, immediately taken just as I saw it. And then there was a spot right around the corner, immediately taken just as I got there. And I was like, I guess gotta park at the fucking library.
Yep.
Be there in like 8 minutes.
Yeah. But then after that, we played Spades. And I was lucky enough to get Paul on my team. Because as we all know,
I even tried to say not to do that initially.
He's only played like, I don't know, 4,000 games on his phone.
All right.
But we were doing a half game, and then eventually we just called it after.
Well, we were doing a half game, and it was like, oh, that ended really quick. Like most of us still have almost all full beers. Let's just play all the way.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, we're out of beers. And Wes and I still haven't hit triple digits, and you guys are in the thousands. Let's just call it.
We weren't in the thousands, but we were like 370, and you guys were at like 26 or something like that.
It was real bad.
We had gotten 3-0 on our team. No, we had gotten 2-0, and you attempted 1-0 and then fucked that up.
Barely missed it.
Barely missed it.
I have no idea how to play spades, so I have no idea what you people are talking about.
Nil is basically so it's a trick-taking game.
Okay.
And nil is when you decide, because it's a partner. You've played euchre at all?
Once.
Okay. So
Hearts?
Someone made
Hearts?
it. No.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Jeff.
All right.
When?
Yeah.
When am I playing these games?
I don't know.
I don't know.
With
Youth?
friends?
No, they didn't play. Parents didn't play cards.
Gotcha.
Grandparents didn't play cards.
Well, so it's trick-taking game, and when at the beginning of each round, you look at your hands and you try and declare how many tricks you think you can take, and then so if we were partners, I said 2 tricks and you said 3 tricks. Together, we would take 5 tricks.
Okay.
And then if you get that, then you get 50 points. If you fail, to get that, you lose 50 points. And if we ended up getting 7, you get what's called bags, which are basically points that you add at the end. So like if we got 2 bags, it'd be 52 points.
Okay.
Then once you get 10 bags, it goes down. You lose 100 points.
Okay.
So you always want to get as close to your bid as possible. And when you go nil, you're basically saying, I'm not going to take any tricks. And that's you specifically. And if that's true, if that happens in that at the end of the game or the end of the round, you personally didn't take any tricks, you get 100 points.
Okay.
And so when that happens, like when Adrian did, we were able to force him to take a trick.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
So then I lost my nil bid.
Yeah.
Which gave me like, I don't know, minus 50, minus 100.
Minus 100.
Yeah.
But then because of that, they were able to set us because they took a trick I was planning on taking.
Okay.
But we were able to set him. And so we lost 60 points and they lost 100 points.
Okay.
So.
Well, we lost 100 for the nil, but Wes
Yes.
made his I don't know, 2 or 3 bid.
Yeah.
So we got 20 or 30 points from that. So it ended up pretty much both groups lost like 60 to 70.
Yeah.
Only we took a fuck ton of bags.
Yes, they did.
Because essentially once he set me, like I was in a weird position with my hand. I was playing, it was a pretty aggressive nil where once he set me, I was like, all right, I'm just going to take fucking everything. And so I was able to just switch. Instead of throwing stuff away, I was able to start using some of my higher cards to start taking tricks.
Whereas my nils that I had I'd been forced to take a trick, I then would have been able to take no other tricks because my hands were just garbage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can only assume Wizard is something. Have you guys played Wizard?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. It sounds similar where you look at your hand and you try and you don't have partners or anything, but you're
Gotcha.
seeing how many tricks you can do.
Okay.
Except there's an extra suit, or there's like 4 jokers and 4 wizards,
Okay.
which are auto loss and auto win,
Okay.
like trumps. But,
Gotcha.
But there's also an auto lose trump.
Right. Okay.
That sounds pretty similar with scoring though, where you're trying to like get as many tricks and get as many points as.
And so you usually play to like 500 or something like that. So
yeah, and wizards like a certain amount of hands depending on players.
Gotcha. But yeah, we ended up calling it, and it was for the best because I hadn't played a lot of spades, but I was definitely the second most knowledgeable person on spades. And so it was Paul who was like
crushing
everyone.
everyone.
Which, so the way I said it should have been Paul and Wes versus Zach and I. And then they were like, no, we're happy to play together. Like, and then it went exactly as expected.
Yeah. I won. So I'm not happy about that. I didn't want to play against Paul is basically what it was.
Sounds like the strategic move.
Yeah. It's one of those games where you can win before you even start playing.
The people with a couple games played and the person with a couple thousand games played.
Yeah, Paul plays a lot of spades.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Playing has gone down dramatically, though, since he got Race for the Galaxy. Because now he just plays a lot of Race for the Galaxy.
Yes.
He has hundreds of games already this year.
He's shooting to do 500 games in the year of just Race for the Galaxy on the app.
Yeah.
That's not too hard.
No. I think he might end up
It's getting
going
close
about that.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, because I already have, let me see here. I only have 30 games.
But he's playing with other people too.
Yeah,
So.
Paul's playing with a lot more people. So
That's basically all I've played besides Xenogenics. I did get invited to Gallerist, but it was a hard pass last time, a hard pass this time.
it will probably always be a hard pass, won't it?
Yes, it will.
That's what I thought. Right on. Jeff, have you played anything other than Blood Bowl?
I played Arboretum, which I had never played before.
Okay.
And that game is a game where you don't really understand how it works until you've played a game of it.
Yes.
It was all right. It was like you draw 2 cards, but you can draw off other people's discard piles, which is interesting because no one really knows what's in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the different. I don't remember how many suits there are. Like 6.
How
10?
many people?
I don't. It was 5.
I think max is 10 suits.
Okay.
So,
But they're all numbered 1 through 8,
uh-huh.
and you have to number them in front of you with various amounts of them, but it only really matters what the first one and the last one is.
And then also you have to have the most of that suit in order to score it in your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have like the 1 and the 8, but you don't have the 7, and someone else put like 2 through 6, and they had the 7, then they're going to score even though you had the higher numbers. You just don't get to score that one at all. Our game ended up with like the lowest scoring I think Lance had ever seen.
Holy shit.
Just constant zeros because people didn't have that one scorecard.
Or people were just keeping cards that other people wanted.
Yes, exactly. So they would be like, I have that high number of that you have a bunch of. I'm going to score it. I score 0 or you score 0 for it. I also score 0, but you know what? You don't score 9 or whatever it was going to be.
And it is generally a low scoring game, so that's important.
Yes. Overall was fine. I'd be interested in trying it again now that I understand kind of the mania behind all of it. It has a cool like end game trigger where you just kind of like whoever gets rid of the last 2 cards, that's the last of it. So it doesn't have like an equal amount of rounds or anything like that.
And you can choose to do that because when you're drawing, you can just draw from discard piles too. So it's a different.
Yeah, you don't have to come from the pile. And I think this was the second edition that did not have the spelling error on the back.
Gotcha.
I think they changed the back of the cards entirely. It doesn't even say Arboretum on the back of the cards. It just says, or it just has an A.
I think an Arboretum is very small letters surrounding it.
Oh, I didn't notice if it was, but
gotcha.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's interesting.
Yes, it does look nice. Yeah, I think there'd just be other cards. I'd rather play like Matryoshka for that same style of game.
Yeah, number chaining
to an extent. Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's also been a pretty light gaming week between the new job and the working on the truck and Jeff being dead. The one thing I did get to play besides Cribbage and Spades that we already talked about was Gallerist over at Paul's on Saturday night. So Megan had a bunch of nurses over to do a Pitch Perfect marathon. And so she was like...
That hurts.
That's amazing. I love Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I have not seen the first. I have not seen the third one, but I do like the first and second.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm with I'm with Adrian on this, Jeff.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Get the fuck out. Anna Kendrick is a national treasure. But so she kicked me out because she was having like 5 nurse friends come over, and so there wouldn't have been space for me on the couch anyway. And she kind of wanted it to be like a girls' night kind of thing. So instead, I went with Wes and Lance over to Paul's house, where we played 4-player Gallerist. I hadn't played Gallerist in a long time. Lance had played once a long time ago, and Paul's played a few times. And then Wes hadn't played at all, so I had to try and remember how to teach Gallerist, which was way harder than it should have been for me to remember. Got it taught and started playing, and it was one of the weirdest games of Gallerist I've ever played. Like, I've probably played, I don't know, half dozen or so, a little over a half dozen games of the Gallerist. And in this one, the starting artists, the reds were all crazy high value ones, like 10 to 13. And then the blues, the couple that actually got discovered and people bought art for, everybody started promoting them really early, which drove up the cost of their paintings. So money was really tight in this one, like unusually tight. And so it was really hard for people to get more than like 1 or 2 paintings in their gallery at a time before they would be forced to sell one just to have money to do anything.
Oh, wow.
And so like people weren't getting to that third spot. It wasn't until like the last 2 rounds of the game that I got any end game bonuses added to my board. But it was nuts. Paul crushed it on reputation. He was constantly at the top end of the track. So he'd spend, if he needed money, he'd spend 5 or 6 from his reputation alone and still be way above everybody. He did a really good job of managing that. Finally, towards the end of the game, I was able to, it was also weird in that the mid-game scoring, which I don't know why they call it scoring because it's not ever actual scoring, but that mid-game like break when the first ticket pile runs out didn't happen until 3 rounds before the end of the game. Like the ticket piles all got really low evenly and nothing. And like we ran out of tokens in the bag, and then we ran out of the first stack and were able to do that mid-game. And then like 2 turns later, I pushed the second artist into celebrity status to end the game. So we didn't even end from the ticket stacks running out, which is kind of unusual in my experience anyway.
Yeah.
I came in second, Wes came in third, and Lance came in fourth. Paul won, beat me by, I don't know, $20 to $30, something like that. A decent amount. He was doing pretty good. The only reason I was even close to in it is because I pushed those 2 celebrities those 2 artists to celebrity status, and I had a painting from each of them. So I was like, I've got 2 paintings that are worth 20 each now, which got me a bunch of points. So it was good. I still like gallerist. It was also a long game. It's probably one of the longest games of gallerist I've played. I think it was over 3 hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like we met at 6, and by the time we met, set up, taught, played, and then I left, it was after 10. So the entire experience was like 4 hours. But had a good time with it, and yeah, want to play more gallerist more. Fall's trying to do a thing where we pick a few games that we really like and play them regularly instead of like, I haven't played gallerist in a year. Let's try and learn the rules again.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna probably try and play gallerist quite a bit more. Wes liked it, wants to play it again. Lance likes it.
Sounds
Paul
to me
likes
like
it.
you
I
guys
like
just
it.
don't want to play games
Jeff
with him
likes it.
anymore. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, yeah, that's it for what I've been playing. So let's bounce back over to Hefe. A Bloody Minute. First game of the season, correct?
No.
Second game of the season.
Yes. This was yesterday that we played against Matt, Necromantic, playing the Smashing Samurai, as is this season tradition. Played over at the Game Lounge. He just bought a house over in that general vicinity.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So he was like, oh, that's a cool place. We can go play there. And that's also why he waited to I can play the Sunday that the round ends. I was like, okay. And that was 2 weeks ago. And then I got sick, and I'm like, I'm sure glad we didn't make any plans before this day, or I wasn't going to be able to make it. It was a solid game. He's got a fuckload of doubles on his team. He has 2 dodge flesh golems, which need doubles. And those are a giant pain in the ass because they have stand firm. So unless you POW them, that's the only way to really get them down, unless you have tackle. But yeah, and or wrestle, I guess. And then he's got doubles on both of his werewolves, who need doubles to give them strength abilities, which he gave them Mighty Blow. Since they come with Claw, that means that they will break armor on 7s. 7, Mighty Blow to 8. When you have armor 9 on like 7 dudes, that can hurt. Thankfully, this game didn't really hurt that much.
That's good.
Yeah. Now he'll be getting dodge on his blodge to make his werewolves blodge. So good luck redrafting your team next season.
Sounds like he needs to make this season count.
Yeah. Same. Frank had a team that was very similar to this, except he had like plus edge on both of his werewolves on top of that. It was fucking insane.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So it's kind of sort of started off, lined it up. It's the first game that my Crocs had break tackle. It's got him guard on the first place. What break tackle does is when you make a dodge roll to dodge away, if you fail that dodge roll, you can then declare break tackle, which you then use your strength instead of your edge. Most of my strong dudes have agility 1, so giving them break tackle means that they will then have an agility of 5 or 4 to do that dodge, which is going to be a 2+, a 1+ for the Croxagore. And that was vital in this game because it's easy for him to base him up with zombies and stuff like that, except he kept forgetting that I could fucking 1+ dodge my Croxagore away once a turn just to move. And when he's got like fast ball carriers like the werewolves or the ghouls, the prehensile tail on the Croxagore will give a -1 to all dodge aways on that. And then I have the skinks with diving tackle, which can do an additional -2 to that. If they succeed, I can be like, all right, I prone into the space that you left, and now it's a -2 to that. And
Jesus.
Yeah, diving tackle can be useful. Downside is they're like strength 2 skinks, and they'll usually just punch out the skink or like blitz the skink to get out of range of something or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of high kicks on the kickoffs this game. We had, I think, 2 or 3. That means you can put a dude under the ball on the kickoff. Sort of just. I bashed the shit out of him and just didn't break armor all game. I think I was hitting him pretty much, 6 or 7 times, knocking him down, and just wasn't getting any armor for the first half. It was just 3, 2, 5, 3. It was just nothing over and over and over again. And every time he hit me, he was just stunning the shit out of me. Thankfully not doing any injuries. until he hit my Strength 5 Saurus, which he then minus armored, which I apothecaried into a badly hurt. So thankfully,
That's good.
Yeah. And I didn't take any more serious injuries for the rest of the game. I had a badly hurt skink, but that happens because when you roll a 9 on the table, which is normally a KO, but it's stunty, the 9 becomes an auto badly hurt.
Oh, okay.
They kind of have like a 7, a 7's a KO and a 9's a badly hurt, instead of a stun and a KO.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Kind of scored back and forth. It was like 1-1, and then I got it to like 2-1, and my armor roll started getting a little better. And I started smashing his fucking werewolves so they couldn't hurt me. KO'd one, and it didn't come back in, which was great. His team doesn't have apothecaries because his team is undead, or Frankenstein's werewolves. They all have regeneration, except his ghouls, who don't. They're the kind of like living character on their team,
Gotcha.
as ball carriers, which I then next gamed. His fucking star ghoul, which I was like, fuck that guy. Also killed a zombie. I was really excited about getting a kill. He ended up tying it up at like turn 8 last second, all the way to the score line. I had him surrounded with like a Crocs and like 3 skinks, and he just rolled the fucking die and stupid ass tied it up right at turn 8. He even called it bullshit. But ended in a 2-2 tie, right at the buzzer. Next game's going to be against some Dark Elves that had a real rough run-in with some orcs recently, I think. Because I'm going into the game with him at a miss next game Witch Elf, a loner lineman, and a miss next game lineman. Seems like he had some rough times against the orcs, but his team has like a fucking plus move, plus edge, blodge, leap, blitzer, and a plus edge witch elf with block and sidestep. So I'm going to try and kill those real fast, and hopefully I can get more than 2 skills on some of my Saurai. Gave another Saurus break tackle because now that I've given break tackle to my Crocs, I am now obsessed with break tackle and what mobility that actually gives Lizardmen.
Sure, yeah.
Because being able to just dodge away on a 2+ and be like, I'm going to go over here and smash the shit out of that thing, your stupid lineman that was basing me doesn't matter anymore. And to keep that from happening, you need to put like 3+ dudes on it, or just in the right spots. Or I guess 2 dudes like left on either side. Because I can only dodge away once if I don't succeed. Because if I roll 6 on the dodge, I just be like, oh, I just used my dodge. I used my agility for that. It's only when you fail that you have to I use strength instead.
Oh, okay.
So if I rolled a 6 on the Crocs, which I did at one occasion, I was like, oh, I don't even use break tackle. I rolled a 6. So that means I could dodge again and use the break tackle or something like that. But anyways, 2-2 tie.
Okay.
Yeah. My star player points are pretty low.
So that's 2 ties for you so far?
Yeah, that sounds right. Because I had... well, it's only second game, so I had a win and then...
Oh, you won. Okay.
A win, 1-0 win, and then a tie. Win tie.
Gotcha. Was it Paul that had the bullshit tie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't really heard much about Paul's
Gotcha.
games. I play him second to last this season.
Right when it really counts.
Yeah, I don't see myself faring very well against pretty much anyone left in the season after the Dark Elves, because then it's orcs, lizards, Nurgle. And I get to fight Nurgle right at the end of their third season. And my star player points are not doing well because I'm not finding myself in a good opportunity to be able to hand off the ball to Saurai in end zones and stuff like that to where I can get them some bonus points. So it would be nice to get them more, but it is the casualties aren't coming together for me currently.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, that wraps up what we've been playing. Bloody Minute back.
Woo.
How long to your next one again?
I mean, today is the start of the next round.
So 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So maybe 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had it scheduled yet.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've played the person next at all. So I will have to look up his name.
Okay. Right on. Well, that lets us move over to news and Kickstarter then.
First up in news this week, WizKids has announced a new weird game called Flotilla, which there's not much news about besides it's sort of 50s Waterworld.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it takes place, but it's based in a world where back during the 50s, when we did the Bikini Atoll nuke test, we broke the crust and all of the hot inner Earth ruptured and superheated the oceans, which melted all the ice caps. Very similar to a movie that was made in the 90s that starred Kevin Costner, where there was water and it was all over the world. I don't know what that movie was called, but
World of Water, I think it was.
Okay, that sounds about right. In this one, you're seeking to become the most influential fleet captain as you are working for this big floating flotilla, thus the name of the game. I don't know if we mentioned that the name of the game is Flotilla, but
I just for whatever reason I just keep thinking, like, in my mind, as soon as you say just Flotilla the Hun, it just appears in my mind.
Oh, I hope there's a section when you play this game to name your captaincy or your boat. Mine will be Flotilla the Hun now.
There you go.
It's going to include a game board for the ocean and for all of the different guilds that rule the flotilla, as well as individual player boards, different tiles to represent survivors, crew, and objectives, artifact cards, dice, and discs. And it's meant for 2 to 5 players. Takes about 90 minutes. So yeah, that's Flotilla. What little bit of information we have on it. $65 MSRP, scheduled to come out around October. So maybe more information closer to then.
Yeah. Interesting idea.
Yes.
Another interesting idea. There's a Die Hard board game heist game coming from
Yes.
USAopoly.
Yeah.
And Fox.
Yeah. Die Hard, the Nakatomi heist board game. And so it will
It's
feature...
never had a licensed board game before.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's actually kind of shocking. It's going to feature asymmetric gameplay where one player is John McClane, who's trying to rescue hostages from the thieves.
Did you say who?
No, I said I was gonna say it's a 1v all basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the thieves are played by the rest of the players in the Nakatomi Plaza high rise.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most 1v all games, the all are the good guys. So seems to me like this guy is, a rapscallion that they're just trying to conduct some business transactions, and this guy just comes around and just fucks with them all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seems like the plot of the Die Hard movies. People are trying to do business transactions, and John McClane fucks with them.
Yep.
How much Christmas theme do you think will be in this board game?
As much as the movie, so a lot.
Okay. Since I've also recently rewatched Lethal Weapon, also a weird Christmas time movie.
Yep.
So yeah, Die Hard. It could be all right. We'll see.
Maybe.
I thought you were connecting Lethal Weapon to that or something, but you're just letting us know you watch Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just surprised at how much Christmas there was in Lethal Weapon.
That was the connection. There we go.
Yeah.
Whatever. That seemed like a build up, and then you're like,
No.
all right. So
But no one ever talks about like Lethal Weapon being a Christmas movie.
Because it's not. Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it just takes place during Christmas.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
The spirit of Christmas is in Die Hard.
I think he kills the bad guy with the pipe from the Christmas tree that the cop car ran over in the front yard.
Yeah, I'm
I think he kills Gary or knocks out Gary Busey with that. They shoot him to kill him, but
Yeah.
Anyways, next up on news, have you heard of Bus? Because I had forgotten this nightmare of visual wonderfulness. But apparently there's a reprint or a new edition or something finally coming.
A 20th anniversary of it.
Yeah, and more importantly, more surprisingly, it's going to be done by Capstone Games.
Not from Splotter.
Yeah, so for the first time ever, Splotter is licensing somebody to produce their game, which should hopefully do wonders for the art and components and distribution and cost and basically everything. Like, this has to be the best news ever for Paul. Like, Splotter is finally joining the modern realm.
I am perfectly fine with that as well. I saw that board. That was a rough board.
I'm looking it up right now because I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
Boy,
Yeah, that's choices were made there.
choices were made, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it weird that I like it?
It's
Yes.
very hand drawn.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of their earlier stuff was like that.
Yeah.
Because it was just them doing that. So.
Yeah. Every copy they had to hand draw a new copy.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I don't hate that.
I don't go to you.
I
I'm
don't
not-
love it.
Yeah.
But
I think they'll probably have to get rid of the square that says Monopoly on it and looks like a Monopoly board.
Probably.
Seem like that cross some lines at this point. Do you have
Yeah.
any idea what Bus is game wise?
no.
Okay.
I know it's one that's supposedly great, but it's incredibly rare.
It's basically you're bringing like people
Pick
to
up and deliver.
Yeah, to various parts during the day. So like
Okay.
to work, to school, to whatever, and it
Okay.
like changes throughout the day or something like that. So
Interesting.
Nick from Slack says I think he said this was his favorite Splotter. So
Okay. Yeah, I've heard really great things. I know it's a lot of people's favorite who've had a chance to play it, but it's just very, very rare. Because it came out 20 years ago when Splotter was students in school, and
Board games weren't that big.
yeah, you could get away with having one drawn by your like girlfriend or
Yeah.
somebody like
no,
that.
no, you tell me that was from 1999, and I believe you.
Yeah.
It's just as long as they don't do, like. I'm glad that they're working with Capstone because they won't pull the same shit that they are doing for Roads and Boats 20th, where they're like, no changes will be made to it.
Oh, I mean, for Roads and Boats, that makes sense. Like,
It's already a perfect game.
well, no, it's just there's not a lot of room to improve things.
It's peak. It's the peak that it can. It is. It's
very
peak
similar
performance.
about during Christmas and about Christmas.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Yeah.
It's a subtle difference.
Yes. Oh, geez.
Last up in news this week, those 13th annual Golden Geek Award nominations have been announced.
Indeed.
You can vote now,
Yes.
but not for us.
No,
You lost your chance.
you did.
Should have already done that.
Yeah.
So, we're not going to go through all of these. You can go look at them.
There are many
because
per,
there's a lot in a lot of different categories.
but I mean,
There's a lot that share. There's a couple games that branch out.
Yes. So, board game of the year, though, we can run through these real quick. Architects of the West Kingdom, Brass Birmingham.
is Birmingham the Lancashire is
one.
the original?
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is the new one. Chronicles of Crime,
Which-
Coimbra, Detective, a modern crime board game, Everdell, Gugong, The Mind, The Quacks of Quedlinburg, Rising Sun, Root, Teotihuacan, That's Pretty Clever, Underwater Cities, and Welcome to, all nominated for Board Game of the Year.
I expect Root to win.
Yeah, probably Root.
This is
I would've
definitely more
said-
of
yeah.
a popularity, hotness
Yep.
award than anything. I think that one's going to come out on
So I'm
top.
actually kind of surprised Welcome to made that cut.
I am
and
too.
Teotihuacan.
I mean, people like good games still.
True. And then because we do a podcast thing, we will list the podcast nominees. Blue Peg, Pink Peg, Board Game Blitz, Brawling Brothers, 5 Games for Doomsday, Heavy Cardboard, Ludology, Rolling Dice and Taking Names, So Very Wrong About Games, Sporadically Bored with Mike and Dan, and This Game is Broken. No Mile High game, guys.
No.
Well, like we've said,
We've been spurned 4 years
But the
now.
problem is they keep making new podcasts. That's,
I mean,
we didn't factor that.
we have to last long enough to where they've stopped making new podcasts.
Exactly.
Well, see, the problem isn't that they make new podcasts. It's that they make new podcasts that are better than ours, or at least more popular.
yeah.
You know,
Well, like I said, no. If the main if they stopped making podcasts, then eventually we
Yeah.
would get there.
yes.
But new podcast, it just keeps throwing our timeline off.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
there's like 3 in here that have started since we started that have made it.
yeah.
So,
Well, but did they have like previous podcasts?
did.
Okay,
They did.
so they're not like new, and they just got a new name.
yeah.
That's how you get multiple awards.
Exactly.
You just make a new podcast
Yeah.
with the same people, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a new podcast. I can win again, right?
Yeah.
it's
It still throws off our timeline, Jeff.
I mean,
even if it's a
It's still a good plan.
it's a plan.
yeah.
It's a plan of attrition,
Yes.
and
We're finding the enemy very resilient. The numbers are steadily increasing.
yep.
For no one that gets the joke, is that we will sooner or later win by default because everyone else will have already won their one time that they can win.
Yes.
And then once everybody wins best podcast, nobody will be best podcast.
Yes.
Correct.
Trying to syndrome this shit.
That's fine. We definitely won't be the last one because there are a few podcasts out there that I won't name, but I've listened to a few board game podcasts that are actively shitty. Just real, real bad. None of our friends, though.
No, they all have good podcasts.
Yeah. So, yeah. Go check out the other categories and their nominees: 2-player, artwork and presentation, card game, things like that. You can even...
I think they're all the same categories as
They
there has
always
always
are.
been. Yeah.
Yep. I love that there's a print and play category.
Yeah.
A little ridiculous.
When I look at like how to nominate stuff, I'm just like, this, you can literally nominate anything.
Yes.
Like it's...
No, you can nominate 10 things for each
Yeah.
thing.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the 13th annual Golden Geek Award nominees. Go vote, and we'll let you know who ends up winning when they announce that.
Woo.
Woo. On to Kickstarter.
On to Kickstarter. First up in Kickstarter is the Dry Erase game tokens. This one is pretty well funded. $1,972 of its $400 goal. 170 backers, still 3 weeks left to go, and you can pledge for $10.
Yeah, so this is a really short, simple thing. They're literally just wood tokens, 1 inch in diameter with some dry erase on both sides that you can use largely for tabletop role-playing games and things. But I could also see this being good like if you're a designer and you're wanting playtest components, and you want to be able to change what certain things' value is really quickly, you can do that. But like they have here, they show a little character with one that says -2 speed, and then it gets erased, and now it says +1 speed because his speed changed. But they're really simple. He's been selling them for a while through his website, alexandershen.com, and over on the BGG DIY boards, which he links in the Kickstarter. So if you want to make these yourself, he tells you how. He says they're pretty simple. But they're also really cheap. For $5, you get 20 of them. For $10, you get 40 of them.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. And estimated delivery by July.
You said 5 for 20 or 10 for 40?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no discount. It's just
no,
more.
No.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, so if you want some tokens, go check it out.
Seemed pretty interesting. Just
Yeah.
like little
That's
write-in things. Just
genius.
to help remind you of things.
Yeah. That would be useful in like Kingdom Death or something.
Yeah.
Just have that on your... a lot of weird shit happens.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
There's not always a token for what you want.
Yeah.
It's just a neat little tool.
Yeah. We run out of plus strength tokens.
Yeah,
So.
that happens. Next up in Kickstarter is something that you can spend a lot of money on. Wormwood tabletop tiles. $250,000 of its $10,000 goal, 1,900 backers, 3 weeks left to go. You can pledge this one for $112 or more dollars, I think, for sets.
Tons.
Yeah, a bunch, fuckloads of money, but at least $10 shipping.
Yeah. So these are pretty sweet. As always, Wormwood making awesome products. If you have a lot of money to spend on awesome wooden products, they're little magnetic hexes that serve as resource bowls. So you can get them where it's all one big bowl, 2 bowls, or 3 bowls, or slotted for cards. And so you can make your own little resource station. They don't seem big enough to really work for the supply for everybody to grab from, but certainly for your own personal supply.
Personal supply, yeah, definitely.
And then most all of them, they said, have coasters on the back. So like an inlaid cork coaster. So you flip it over and boom, it's a coaster.
But their example is putting a stemmed glass on a coaster. Is that do people do that?
I mean, I put maybe not a stemmed glass.
I usually do it for condensation. Don't usually find a lot of condensation on a wine glass.
No, I do. If somebody was going to drink a wine glass on this table down here though with this foam,
Yeah,
I'd still give them something like a firm base of support.
Yeah.
To maybe not spill. And they show it on a game table that's felt lined.
I mean, you are drinking fancy red wine using your wormwood table and all of your wormwood components.
I mean, if you can afford all of that, you're probably the kind of fancy asshole who regularly drinks the nicest of red wines on your game day.
Yeah.
You're not some schlubs like us drinking the cheapest beer.
It's not the cheapest beer.
It's not the cheapest.
No.
Well, mine's the cheapest. I'm always drinking the cheapest beer I can find that I like, which makes it not the cheapest beer, but I still go for the cheaper stuff.
It's time for gallerist. Time to pull out a 45 Bordeaux.
But yeah, just like all other Wormwood things, they offer a bunch of different wood options.
I like
and
the Tile of
customization
Shame
things.
one.
The what?
Tile of Shame.
Tile of Shame.
Where it's for holding your dice, but then there's a center spot that's surrounded by brass poles for if any dice misbehave.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need that one. It's only $30 for one tile for a single fucking tile.
Look, you don't buy Wormwood because it's affordable.
No, you do not.
Yeah, the like caster tile, which uses
Oh my
like
god,
little
that's
magnetic.
amazing! I fucking want that so bad. Holy shit!
Well,
I
it's just
saw that.
$35.
It's like all of your different like spell slots or how many you've used or whatever.
I'm
But-
guessing slots left, like you take them out as you cast them.
I would, yeah, probably. But how do you get them out?
A magnetic.
that little.
Oh,
wand.
it's got like a little magnetic peg that. Okay, all right.
Fuck.
It's only $35.
Yeah.
I know. I might get it.
So you just need the rolling tile, the caster tile, and the dice tile. So that's like $100.
Yeah, and now it's suddenly $100.
Yep, sounds about right. I really wish. God damn it! I really wish there was like any kind of a pledge X amount and get like discounts. Like, I'm gonna buy 3 tiles and you get a slight discount versus buying them a la carte one by one.
Yeah.
Also, there's the only option left to get any is March 2020 delivery.
It is
Yep.
wave 4 shipping on this stuff
Yep.
right now.
People like Wormwood. so-
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we could go to
Gen Con.
Gen Con and find that shit.
Yeah. Free smells.
Yeah.
It smells nice.
It
It
does.
really smells so nice.
Yeah,
real
it
good
does.
wood. All right. Yeah. That's Wormwood. If you're looking for some cool components to get here in March of 2020, then go check it out.
Up next is a Lifesiphon, well-funded $58,000 of its $10,000 goal, 873 backers, about 3 weeks left to go, which you can pledge for $90. This game looks nice.
Yeah. And it comes, like, if you get a certain one, it comes with Wormwood stuff. So
Yes, it does.
Yes. More options to get more Wormwood.
Yeah.
So Lifesiphon is a combat strategy game for 2 to 4 players where you are cursed humans battling underground. But essentially, they've got a story behind this that I'm not going to get into. But essentially, the way the game works is you are going to be summoning these, what do they call them? Familiars. You're going to be summoning familiars to fight for you. So you spend some of your life points to summon familiars, which you can then move around. And once you move them onto the battlefield, you can use them to attack only the person to your left. And they can only attack the person to their left, and so on and so forth, all the way around the table. So you're defending from your right and attacking to your left. And as soon as your opponent to your left is reduced to less than 1 point, aka dead, you win the game. So you don't even have to like kill the person to your left and then the next person and the next person and be the last person standing. Just once you kill your person to your left, you win. Whoever does that first is the winner. The kind of interesting thing is basically everything you do in this costs a life. So, you can throw out a bunch of familiars to go fight and have a bunch of fighting power, but then you're going to be really weak. So you won't have as much health left to outlast the person to your right. And same thing with cards. There's 2 different kinds, fast cast and slow cast. Fast cast can be played anytime. Slow cast can be played on your turn, but they cost life to cast them. And then, like I said, once you get them down to 0 points or less, you win.
Yeah. And you can technically get the game for just $45.
Yes.
And that's for wooden familiars, but the $70, $90 one includes solid metal pieces for it,
Yep.
which look fancy.
Yeah, the wood looks really good.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of root-esque, like interesting art style and shape. But the metal ones are bonkers.
Yeah. It's from the same people that did Dragoon, which had a really cool Kickstarter edition as well. And that's why the $90 one is hopping, because it comes with the Kickstarter exclusive fabric game board and the sleeve.
Yep.
Who cares about sleeves? But yeah, it looks cool. And even for $45, it seems like it's a cool game. 20 to 40 minutes. It's not like a very long
No.
ordeal.
Nope. So go check it out. Lifesiphon, if it's interesting. Sounds interesting to you.
Next up on Kickstarter is Fujikoro Deluxe. Just above funded, $76,000 of its $45,000 goal. Another one with 3 weeks left to go, with its most popular pledge level, the Deluxe Edition, at $111.
Yeah.
And then there is a version that comes with like a playmat.
Yeah.
They are both very close in pledge level right now.
Yeah.
So Fujikoro is an exciting adventure miniature game with Euro-style gameplay elements, featuring competitive and cooperative modes. So it's coming from Game Brewer. They've done a bunch of games over the years.
They did Gugong last.
That's right.
Yep.
So in this one, it takes place in 1707, and Mount Fuji is on the verge of erupting, and the shogun has sent his most noble and gifted warriors on a quest inside the volcano to retrieve a bunch of valuable goods from 3 secret Sanji temples.
Yeah, temples, yeah.
That are hidden in there. And so the volcano is rumbling and things are falling as you're trying to get in there, get these treasures, and get back out before the volcano erupts.
It reminds me, in that respect at least, of like Clank, where you're getting in and then shit goes south near the end and you have to get out before the end.
Yeah, like a big part of the game board is the volcano.
Yep.
You can see a bunch of lava and then like paths through the lava and they've got clearly on the side lava tokens that are going to be covering up parts of the board.
Yeah, the board has different numbers on there, and then once somebody gets a certain amount of points, then the end game starts and you have like 8 turns to get out, and every so often new lava will go on like the tiles marked 1, 2, 3 of like and so on and so forth, making it harder for you to get out.
Yeah. The minis on this one don't look super amazing, I don't think. I can't quite tell if these are, again, just digital renders of them. Like the one with all the dragons kind of looks like it might be an actual picture.
Except for that top left or that top blue.
Yeah.
Wait, where? We're looking at a different picture.
Okay.
But yes, there's one that's like them on the player board that looks like it might be a real picture.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I see what you're saying. No, I think it's still digital renders. I know. I watched a playthrough of this, and they were just using the cardboard tokens. So
gotcha. Yeah, whole bunch of different tokens and things. Bunch of volcano tiles that are all different layouts.
The tiles look really cool, and they look like they have a pretty a cool interlocking mechanism for the hexes.
Yeah, so that they'll all kind of stick together on the board. Yeah, there's apparently dragons in there. I didn't see that in the description up above, but there's dragons that start to wake up as the volcano erupts.
And then it's about fighting them. And you're like collecting metal and wood in here. And what I like is like at the anytime you're out of actions, you have to rest. And when you're resting, you're crafting. So you're like making a helmet, which helps fight against, like it helps protect against damage from the dragons. And then you're making weapons. And it's all like cube based, so the more cubes you have for your weapon, the more damage you're going to do because you're rolling dice. And like metal is stronger than wood, so you get to roll like the wood die can only do 1 damage, the metal die can do 2, the dragon's tooth can do 3, and then if you make a magical one, it can do up to 4 damage for each of the die. But you're rolling dice for each of the cubes that you have on there. So when you upgrade it, like you add 2 more wooden, like you make it a longer sheath or whatever, not sheath, hilt. To say you add like 2 more wood, you're rolling 2 more wood dice onto it. So, when I was watching it, it just was interesting to make these little designs of these weapons that you're quote unquote doing damage with.
Okay.
But then when you're rolling, you have a 1 in 6 chance on each die to lose part of your weapon, so it's taking damage. So it's like, this metal part, you did 2 damage, but then you have to lose it. So it's you're constantly having to get new stuff to repair your helmet and your weapon and your shoes. So
okay, yeah. Basically, on your turn, you're going to do 2 short actions: explore, move, gather, or that rest / craft action. Exploring lets you add tiles adjacently. Moving, you move up to 3 spaces. Gather, you get resources that are on the board into your little backpack.
There's also secret scrolls out there that'll give you special abilities to like move farther or when you rest, you get extra resources, or you can move, or when you're doing damage, you can do, more damage or re-roll dice and stuff like that.
Yeah. Looking here a little bit further down on that crafting thing, that's very Minecraft-esque.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, especially there are monks on the board that you can save through the gather action as well. That'll help increase your backpack size because they're holding shit, or they can let you have another secret scroll, so another power, or they'll give you an extra action to do, or they can help you basically build two-handed weapons, which the secret or the weapon blueprints that you can get are all two-handed. So, and it's basically you're built, because if you're doing a one-handed weapon, you can only have 8 cubes, but if it's a two-handed weapon, you can do 12 cubes. So it lets you do more damage too.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their next stretch goal is double layered player boards, which will significantly help with that crafting portion.
Yes. And then way down there, they have triple layered player boards, because you're tucking cards underneath your player board. So I'm assuming like Lisboa,
Yes.
you'll be able to tuck them easily like
Okay.
that. I watched the playthrough of it. It looks pretty interesting. It's just expensive.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Like the board reminded me of what is it? Mechs versus Minions, in terms of like the UV,
Okay.
the spot and
Shininess.
the shininess, and it's very. It has a very good board presence, I think.
Yeah.
It's about like the different temples are like 3D. So yeah.
The deluxe version is roughly 15.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's
yeah.
a heavy gain.
And I know that there's like a cooperative variant where you're like, you can like the dragons are chasing you and you need to help each other. Then I know there's a competitive one where you can fight each other as well. But most of the time you're usually just fighting the dragons, which do a lot of damage.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Because they're dragons.
Yeah.
I think this is very interesting, looking at the shipping. So if you're in Turnhout, Belgium, you can do free local pickup. If you're in the US, Benelux, China, Hong Kong, Iceland, Switzerland, or Norway, you get the cheapest shipping at €12. Germany, Austria, and Poland get 14. Canada, Australia, UK, France, Spain, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Italy get 16. Rest of Europe and Asia, 22.
All I know is they list a lot of things. I just want to know what rest of the world is, because that's $84 to ship somewhere.
Jeez.
Right? Yeah, because like there's rest of Europe, rest of Asia, rest of Latin America, and then rest of world. So I guess it's like small parts of Africa?
Yeah, seems about right. Yeah.
So because South Africa's on here, Egypt and Morocco. And so yeah, if you're in any one of those, any other African country but those three,
Yeah.
you're paying €84 in shipping. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They do also have a, bulk shipping for 4 copies. So if you and 3 of your friends are trying to get in on this, you can get bulk shipping.
Yes.
It's not much cheaper.
No, yeah. And it looks like the deluxe basically is a lot of, instead of cardboard pieces, wooden pieces. All the cards are slightly better. So instead of 300 GSM blue core cards, they're 310 GSM black core cards. And instead of cardboard standees, it's the meeples, or not the meeples, the minis and things like that. And I think like some of the like the white dragon is 70 millimeters tall. So
Ooh.
Okay.
yeah,
That's Fujikoro Deluxe.
looks pretty cool.
Last up on Kickstarter is Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down.
I feel like I've heard this game.
Yeah. Well funded. 276,000 of its $150,000 goal. 1,881 backers. Still about 2 weeks left to go for this one, with its most popular pledge level being $150.
So I really like their subtitle description thing on this Kickstarter.
Yes.
A game about killer robots, sad whales, and moon demons. If that doesn't interest you, we're out of ideas. So if you don't know what Tsukiyumi is,
Then you
clearly don't listen to this podcast.
Well, you don't listen to the last 10 minutes or
the entire
summer
review
yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So this is the latest Kickstarter from our sponsors, Gray Fox Games, and this is the second edition of Tsukiyumi, featuring minis instead of standees, and we have some answers to some questions that we were unsure about in our review 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So they didn't decrease the amount of people.
Pizzas
No.
at all.
They are 100% there.
Well, they did in the sense that they moved.
Well, they don't have as many Oni, right? Or did they still have the same amount of Oni?
I don't know.
Has changed from, I think, what I saw originally.
But for individual,
There are 34 Oni. Well, technically 35 with the legendary. Ooh, even more with the more legendary that they've unlocked. But yeah.
The unique sculpts that all of like the middle range ones have, I mean, they're all the same sculpt now.
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah. So like in the amount of figures, it seems to be like for the actual classes you play as or factions are the same.
It's all there.
The same quantity.
But they reduce the art on them via sculpts on this one.
Yeah, they've consolidated where possible, which I mean it makes sense.
100% makes
And
sense.
it was really only the nomads that
had
took the hit.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, here's
a bunch of named
yeah,
people.
a bunch of named people. They're not really named anymore, but that's fine because the names didn't mean shit.
There's still Lieutenant Dan.
Yes, but he's the only like one that mattered.
Yeah.
About having a name. Otherwise, it was like Private versus like Private Jenkins or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
There was like two different stuff sergeants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to be having a sheet now that tells you what everybody's health is.
Yeah.
And what their conquests and all of the, obviously every, like a lot of these guys look different. And I think these sculpts make them look different enough that at a glance you can tell like what
who's who,
like even what a private versus the hunter looks like. And then anything that has a low amount of health has like a triangular base, a medium amount has a circular, and then a large amount of health has a square base.
Yeah, so you can get a rough idea of what you're going up against
Yes.
just by looking at the bases.
Yeah.
So the giant, weird mutant elephant things, square bases.
Yeah.
Mechs, circles.
Yeah. So,
Except for the one mech.
Yes, that one mech, definitely a square.
Yeah. But they did move them to the expansion.
yes.
So now it's a 2 to 4 player base game.
Correct. And so the base 4 factions you get are the Cyber Samurai, the Nomads, the Dark Seed, and the Boar Lords, and then the Oni as a non-playable 5th faction.
I think that is a 3 to 4 player base game.
Well, yes, that's
Yeah,
what I meant. So,
yeah.
because they don't have the 2-player expansion.
There is a
thing.
2-player expansion you can get, but
Yeah. Which
Oh.
out of the 4,
because it says on the main thing 2 to 4 players.
oh, maybe they just integrated that.
it's an add-on for $5
Oh.
for the 2-player expansion still.
Weird.
So, but maybe I don't know.
It does say 2 to 4 on the box or on their thing. So
So I don't know what that 2 to 4 player expansion's for.
maybe that's for the.
Oh,
Is it for the previous?
it is specifically for pioneers who did not get
Yeah.
it in the first edition.
Yes.
So maybe that's just going to be included now.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But out of the 4, or out of the 5 base factions from the first one, the mechs would make sense to move if they're going to move one,
for sure.
because I definitely felt they played the most different, and
Yeah.
also they have this like the least amount of minis to move over to.
Yeah, because I guess they'll just have the same mini. But there wasn't actually like was there an actual like art upgrade on the
No.
unit when you upgraded
not
it?
really.
Okay.
Like slight ones and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
I guess you'll have to keep track of did the upgrade change the stats?
yes,
Okay.
so maybe there might be different. I don't know.
We'll have.
Let's see. I mean, yeah, we don't see on that right here.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't show if the upgrade versus the regular, because the mini doesn't change. So
Yep.
I'm sure on the stats page it'll
Indeed.
Yes.
be like upgrade regular.
Yeah. Just tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So the base expansion adds the Children of the Lion, which are the people, and the animals, like
The African region faction,
the robots, like we were saying, and then
The
the
hunt-
GO3.
the dragon hunters.
yes, and then the Jade Sentinels, which are pandas.
They're also Kickstarter exclusive.
Yes.
They are-
They're a Gray Fox exclusive, which isn't truly a Kickstarter exclusive.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they will always have their Gray Fox exclusive stuff available on their website after a certain period of time of the Kickstarter.
Gotcha. And then it looks like you can also add 2 more factions if you want, because people were wondering where are the dragons and where are the
Flying whale,
flying whales. And they're here.
sad whales.
Yes, sad whales. Yeah, the Fireborn, and then the Lords of the Lost Sea.
Yes, which are both very low count factions.
Yeah,
Like the dragons are like 6 dragons and about the same count, like 8 or 10 different whale things.
yeah. But they look cool. I'd be interested to see how they play.
Yeah, all the factions seem like they were pretty interesting. The Jade Sentinel faction was sort of a add-on faction originally. It seems like the Jade Sentinel faction is now in the expansion.
Gotcha.
And then the other two are add-ons?
Yes, they're add-ons.
Okay.
Cray.
And from what I remember, the Jade Sentinels have an interesting win condition. If all the Oni are off the board, they win.
Yep.
Just immediately. And there is some upgrades that you can get from if you had originally pledged this, where you can get upgrades for your first edition stuff and just get kind of all the new upgraded stuff.
Yep.
There was some people complaining when it launched that it was too expensive for the upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you did an all-in pledge to like upgrade, it was like $100, and you can kind of get everything for $150.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're only saving $50. Well, you're saving $50.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think the biggest thing on this campaign is the fact that we're listed on there.
We are indeed listed on there.
And you can actually click on the review episode in there. Although it's only Adrian that's quoted. So
That's very true.
I don't know about that. But his name looks stupid because of that N that's backwards. So maybe it's for the best.
Yeah.
Although it's also such a good quote. Holy bleep, it's good.
Yeah.
We can curse on here. You can say shit.
Or was it fuck?
I honestly can't remember which one I said.
And then we don't listen to this.
Well,
So
I mean, well, it looks like shit.
I mean,
It's got a $, hashtag, %.
but there's but there's a asterisk before the $. So it's 5 letters. What's a 5-letter curse word that we would have used?
Holy bitch.
Holy.
Holy bitch, it's good.
I also thought it was weird. One of their stretch goals is a Dice Tower exclusive Oni.
Really?
Yeah. Like I thought, I was like, that's weird. But their funded like first stretch goal, like the Oni, it has like a die power, or it has like a chart that its power changes each turn.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But it's like a Dice Tower exclusive Oni for them.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
the Dice Tower guys liked it
Yes.
way back when.
Yep.
So maybe they got in on this Tsukiyumi action as well.
I know. Where's our exclusive mini?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the Oni that just randomly curses and is largely ineffectual?
But yeah, that's a rough overview of Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down. Yeah,
It's
a couple weeks still to go get it.
Yeah.
So
there is some new stuff on this Kickstarter. It's not just minis. There's like that solo co-op mode or co-op Moon Princess thing.
Yeah. And it looks like they might be adding more starting advantage things. And
I think that was in the original
yeah.
Kickstarter.
Well, I know they do faction for more, or not faction,
stretch goal.
stretch goal
Yeah.
of additional ones, and then faction effects and shit like that. So.
Yeah, and I know the expansion comes with some more of those missions and things like that.
Yep.
It seems like there's more legendary Oni in this. There was only like 2 in the original. Now there's like 4 or 5.
Which we never played with.
No. Didn't need more. Warlords were enough.
Yeah, that's Tsukiyumi. Go check it out.
And that's it for Kickstarters.
That is indeed it for Kickstarters. Which allows us to move on to listener feedback featuring Jeff's favorite thing, an email.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com if you'd like to send us an email. This one is from V, titled So Many Episodes. Hey, Mile High Game Guys. Fortunately, I have been pretty busy of late and fell behind on all of your episodes. I have finally caught up. Apologies now for the lengthy message. I have thoughts/feelings. First, thank you guys for including more economic games in your Kickstarter section.
Not really this
Not
week.
this week. I have stopped listening to it, but Adrian informed me that you had been adding smaller games. I genuinely appreciate that. You guys are the best. Not this week. I will tune in for future Kickstarter messages. Don't do it this week, but it's too late now. So.
Yeah, it's too late.
And then she goes through here and lists kind of like various episodes that she's giving feedback on, like the components episode. I was intrigued when I heard the long love letter about 18XX games. I wondered if perhaps looking at my own dull copy of 1870 had turned me against a genre of games that looked thematically interesting and well put together in every other version besides mine. So I Googled 18X and learned that indeed, no, they all look boring and terrible. I was prepared to set aside the possibility of a life devoted to 18xx until you talked about using Excel to determine the winner. Now that is a strong selling point. Who doesn't want to use Excel when playing board games? Am I right?
I don't want to use Excel. How about you, Jeff?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to. It just makes it easier.
On a different note, I would like to state that I had to write my components contribution in a rush, and I do know more descriptors for games than the word beautiful, although apparently I didn't on that day I sent my thought. On to 132. The discussion about names was neat. My own name's origin is pretty cool as well. Veronica translates to bringer of victory. Apparently Veronica is the Latin version of the Greek Berenice. All of this information comes from Wikipedia. Accordingly, make of that what you will. I was named after the actress Veronica Lake. During World War II, the U.S. government requested she change her trademark peekaboo hairstyle, think Jessica Rabbit, because women were getting their hair caught in machines at the industrial factories. My mom loves that story, so essentially my name is Veronica because an actress got a haircut.
Worst ways to get a name.
Yeah.
For sure.
My name, specifically, is because it started with a J.
There you go.
That was all, because I wanted the alliteration.
Gotcha.
Episode 135. A correction from Mike Jones and myself. I apologize that I did not communicate this better when we presented you the gift. Root and its expansions are from Mike Jones, myself, Paul, Allison, and the Wednesday Night Game Group. We love and appreciate you, Adrian. Happy birthday.
I don't remember how I misinterpreted it.
I don't know.
That it was just from her or just from someone like...
I think she'd mentioned that like Mike Jones played a key part in getting it because he works at Wizard's Chest. But I didn't think it was just from Mike Jones or just from her. I knew it was from a bunch of people.
Yep.
So,
the questioning. To resolve your question about whether or not there have ever been evil Gryffindors, the answer is yes. The most famous example being Peter Pettigrew.
I don't know how I forgot about him.
Also known as Wormtail. Wormtail betrayed his friends Lily and James Potter by providing their undisclosed location to Lord Voldemort, understanding that in doing so, he had guaranteed their murders. As an aside, all of the houses have gained dark wizards, but Hufflepuff is the lone house in the series with no identified dark wizards. They are also known for possessing the least number of evil wizards between all of the other houses. Go Hufflepuff. I mean, what's the difference between an evil wizard and a dark wizard? Is there a...
No, nothing. She's just changed words.
She just changed words.
She didn't want to keep using the same word over.
Dark wizard. It confused me. Like there is different rankings of evil, bad wizards.
I just assume it's because dark wizards want to go to interesting houses. So
it's correct.
Super long email complete. Thanks, MHGG. I look forward to your subsequent episodes. V.
Thank you, V.
Yes.
That's it for emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com if you would like to send us an email.
We've got a few new comments over on YouTube. Let's see how badly I can fuck up the order of these.
As is tradition.
So on episode 135, Efficient Digestion, M wants to know, so where can I get the Swinging Dicks version? Asking for Paulo, referring to Tsukiyumi. Alas, there are no Swinging Dick versions for anyone.
No, that's just the standee version.
Yeah.
It's just a picture. No 3D sculpt of it. I wonder if they did, just to be like, let's make a 3D sculpt of it. Well, this looks weird. Now let's just...
I hope so. I hope somebody 3D rendered a boar's dong at one point in the production of this game.
And it had to get, like, red stamps. Like, sorry. Back to the drawing board.
But it was like a soft resin, so you get to see
had, like, a hinge.
Yeah, it had...
So they sent an email with it, and the email, like, somebody had to reply all, like, sorry, less dong, please.
Yeah.
Can we cover that?
Paulo comments on Tsukiyumi review, says, this is a game that doesn't appeal to me. Nothing in it draws me in. I was the same way until I played it. And then I actually really like the way it plays, so.
But it's still, I mean, if you don't like area control games, though, definitely not.
I mean, I don't like area control games.
But I feel like you're not wrong, but...
I feel like you're not wrong, but...
I feel like a lot of area control games have like a randomness and something in there that you tend not to like because of that.
Correct. Over on the Put to the Question episode, M says, "Shit, Paulo, we forgot to ask questions. How do I get this changed to the People's Corner? Who's your favorite pro wrestler? Mine
is probably.
Mine is Macho Man. Oh, yeah. So this will never be the People's Corner.
Yeah.
Ever. My favorite pro wrestler, I don't like pro wrestling.
I mean, you could just default to The Rock.
I was going to say The Rock because he's a great actor. I mean, not necessarily in his acting ability, but he's great in what he's in. I like him as an actor.
He is an actor in movies that you have enjoyed.
Yes.
I'm going to say only because of how much Christian Bell's character likes Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Good Place. I'll say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's a solid option for favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go Rob Van Dam.
Okay.
Don't even know who that is.
Yeah, it's fine. I was always a big fan of him. He was an ECW guy for a long time, and then never really made it big in WWF/E. I don't remember when he got in there, but he was always very flashy, like crazy top rope bullshit.
Okay. Nice.
Always doing like a cross the ring drop kick with a chair at the end of it. Like, yeah. Or a garbage can.
Jeff, what would have been the worst answer I could have given? What's the Nickelback of pro wrestling?
Oh, man.
What was that
Triple H?
What's that guy that was currently out for having cancer?
Oh, yeah. Him, for sure.
Reigns?
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It sounds like a piece of shit.
So he's in the same family as The Rock, the same wrestling family.
Okay. Sure.
Same wrestling bloodline.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Sure.
It's 100% a thing. And they've just been trying to push him to the top for years, and everyone hates it because they know what's happening. Same with Nickelback. Everyone's just like, look, this is popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he got cancer, which is sad. But he's apparently cancer free currently.
So now he sucks again.
So now you can boo him again. But he's not back yet. But I think he's filming a movie with The Rock currently.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Roman Reigns is definitely the top tier.
Yeah.
Like fuck you answer. 'Cause
Okay.
no one likes Roman Reigns
Okay.
or Ronda Rousey. She's a wrestler.
Oh,
now.
yeah. God damn it. Fucking Rhonda.
She's about to main event in WrestleMania.
Ooh. Anyway, last YouTube comment comes from episode 135, Efficient Digestion, where our
Spooky ghosts.
Paulo says, "It's Le Havre, not Le Havre, Adrian. I'm backing Glenmore 2 and Age of Civilization. Really excited for AOC. Looks really, really cool for a fast civ game for when you don't have the time for Through the Ages." So, yes, I know it's Le Havre, but sometimes I just don't care.
The Le Havre.
Le Havre. Yeah, that's it for YouTube comments. Zach, was there anything new over on BGG?
I mean, we had a thread of people being like, what? We weren't nominated for Best Podcasts?
I bet none of them voted.
Paulo didn't.
That's what happens when you don't vote.
Yeah.
We don't get nominated.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
I mean, he even enjoys the Bloody Minute.
Yeah. So yeah, here, I'll read it just because
Okay.
he made it. This is from John. Is no Golden Geek nomination for Best Podcast? Boo! If it makes you feel any better, I did nominate you guys.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that'd been great. It was like,
Yeah.
it sucks you guys didn't get nominated. I mean, I didn't nominate you, but it still sucks.
I thought somebody would.
Yeah. I really enjoy your show. Yes, even the Bloody Minute, and hope you guys aren't going anywhere. Hell, I may even pledge $1 if it means you will berate me every now and then. Take care, John. # Team Adrian. Now that's a quick way to a berating.
Yes.
So yeah, Paulo didn't nominate because he didn't do any nominations this year.
Slacker.
Brian did nominate us. One day y'all win it one day y'all win it if you can keep the team together. And then Jeff spilled the beans on our.
I mean, we talked about it at least a year ago.
Yes.
We have, I'm pretty sure a year ago, the episode was episode 1, I don't know, 80 or winning like 80 something.
Winning by default. Yes.
Winning by default.
Yeah. Once everyone has won, then we'll win by default.
Yes. Just have to last it out until everyone has won.
Yeah.
Indeed. And from Twitter, Luke, who was our one of our new patrons last week,
Hot Hands Luke
got roasted. He tweets us and says, "At MH Game Guys, well, If I now get divorced for having overly hot hands, I'm blaming Jeff. God damn it.
I'm sure, Jeff, are you okay? Are you willing to die on that hill?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Hot hands loot.
Yep.
Sweaty, balmy hands.
Yeah. So let us know when you get divorced.
Yeah.
I would love to see that in a court document.
He's got hot hands.
Reason for separation.
Somehow other people found out about his hot hands. He's been sharing his hot hands with others.
Keeping them moist.
So that's it for listener feedback. As always, this Wednesday episode has been sponsored by our awesome sponsors, Gray Fox Games. As we just discussed mere moments ago in our Kickstarter segment, their new game, Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down, well, new edition of the game, Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down, is on Kickstarter right now with a bunch of sweet minis, no swinging dicks.
Is that a positive or negative?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. A bunch of cool stuff. Definitely go check it out. Take a look at all the awesome new things they have.
Check out our review if you hadn't yet of it to hear our opinions on it.
You can click on that thing that says, holy shit, it's good, to go to the review.
Yeah. And it'll take you right there and you can listen to it and make of it what you will. It's been a while since we had a unanimous podcast enjoyment of a game, and we did with Tsukiyumi.
Woo.
And they didn't even pay us to do it.
No. They gave us a copy of it to do it.
They did. But that was just to play it.
Yeah, but now I want to spend like $150 to get all the minis.
I kind of want to get the full version.
Yeah.
I just want to have all the other factions, so I have more options when I fight.
Maybe we can just contact them and be like, hey,
why don't you send us one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll buy one, and then you send one.
Because we don't need the base game. We just need the base game upgrade.
Yeah.
But we need the expansion and everything.
Yes.
There's not a back pledge for that.
No.
Because who got the base game without the expansion in the original one, I guess?
Us.
Yeah.
Just us.
Just us. You fucked us, Gray Fox.
Jeff, do you have
We'll hold this sponsorship ransom.
Jeff, do you have a prepared sponsor statement?
Absolutely. Gray Fox Games, quality games cleverly crafted. Also, war has changed.
Ever since the moon demons came.
That war never changed. Oh, that was the whole thing.
So that's
I get it.
It's referencing the Fallout thing. And it is actually referencing the Fallout thing. Like Kojima has said that. But yeah.
Right on. Well, before we close out the show, we have a bunch of people to thank in addition to our sponsors, people who are helping to support the show. Starting with John, who was so indignant about our not being nominated for Best Podcast and threatened to pledge $1 to get insulted. He pledged more than $1.
He pledged $5.
But he wanted to be insulted, I feel. a little bit disappointed. I think he gets 5 insults.
5 insults.
One for each $1 he pledged.
You should wear long pants when you're hiking in the rain, because
Not true.
I mean, you could freeze to death.
And we don't like soggy rice.
And you know how cold it gets in the Johns Lake trail bed, sir.
Really stalking that photo.
Yeah. It's really sometimes all I have to go off with, like cool hot hands or hot hands Luke.
Yep.
Hot hands Luke.
Well, I hope you didn't lose any toes.
Yeah.
Surprised you make fun of him for being hashtag Team Adrian.
I mean, he knows what he did.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody who they accept that. It's, that's their lifestyle. It's a choice.
I can't even make fun of him for that. It's a bridge too far.
He doesn't really need to be super made fun of.
For being...
I only say it because he mentioned in his BGG post that he might want to get made fun of.
I know.
So, also huge thanks to Chris, which I really hate that we don't use last names on these because it's a famous Chris. He's a famous person.
Absolutely.
It's definitely Captain America who's pledging $5 to support the show. So,
thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. That's awesome. Pretty sure he's in Slack.
Yes.
Pops up occasionally.
No, when we were talking about him, I remember he messaged us or something like that about when we talked about him being that Captain America or something.
Being that actor.
Yeah.
In the Slack channel,
yes.
Did. And then he changed his Slack channel picture to a picture of Captain America.
Yeah.
It was really great.
Yeah.
And new $10 patron, Big Bucks, Lance.
This is obviously the best Lance that we know.
This is our favorite.
This is our favorite Lance.
This is the Lance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the only reason we were able to review Wingspan Lance.
So thank you very much, Lance. We super appreciate it.
Now you're just giving us money.
I know. It's great. And then Matt has bumped up from the $1 pledge to the $5 pledge.
So we actually care about
So we
him.
retract everything
Yeah.
bad that was said about you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't remember what it was, but we
He's
take it all back.
He's a legitimate good person
You're
now.
actually you're a fine individual. Thanks, Matt, for your support.
Yes. Sincere.
Sincere thanks this time.
Yeah.
Yes. Right on. If you want to support the show like all the rest of these awesome patrons have, then you can jump over to our website, milehighgameguys.com, and in each of the different episode posts, there's links. Links to the things we talk about in those episodes, news, Kickstarters, things like that, so you can check them out yourself. There's links to the Slack channel where you can come over and just fuck around with us in that Slack channel. As Paul pointed out, there's now like 100 people in the Slack channel, shockingly enough.
How many active people?
I'd say about a dozen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
How
they're
many
real
extreme?
active.
Yeah, they don't have much going on.
There's about 12 really active people and then Boyd.
And it's always like, and it's usually on like weekdays, except the day that I need entertainment when I'm sick in bed.
Well, no, because like as everybody pointed out, it's all a bunch of like software devs and tech people who work in front of a computer and are just like, I'm on Slack all day for professional reasons.
And
also,
also-
I'm in the Mile High Game Guys Slack.
Yeah.
Like I was really bummed. My work uses Yammer and not Slack, so it's like I can't pretend to be doing work things.
And I drive, so every so often I'll see you guys get into conversations, and I'm like, I look at the person behind me who is paying me to drive them. I'm like, you motherfucker.
You son of a bitch.
I want to just be like, can I just like turn? I'm just going to park for like 5 minutes and tell these fuckers what's what. That's fine, right? You're fine to pay me to do that, right?
Also in those links, though, is a link to our Patreon, patreon.com/milehighgameguys if you want to financially support the show. We super appreciate everybody who does, even the $1 people that Jeff so viciously mocks. They're a key base of support.
Yep.
They're holding this whole thing up.
With their filthy dimes per episode.
Yes, indeed. If you want to get a hold of us, there's plenty of other ways to do that. You can always tweet us. I tweet under @MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
I am Jeff_MHGG.
You can participate in Jeff's favorite form of communication by sending us an email.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can jump over to the Board Game Geek Guild number 2731, where Zach does episode posts, and everybody else is free to post about whatever you want, about like how we didn't get nominated for Golden Geeks.
Feel free to post about how we don't get a whole bunch of things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was a little miffed. Nobody was like, God, they didn't get nominated for a single Emmy or an Oscar or anything like that.
Golden Globes, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah, that's the people's choice.
You can also follow us over on Facebook and Instagram /Mile High Game Guys if you would like to do so. That wraps it up. I think that's everything. I covered it all. We're done. We're out. So hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in on Friday when we review Dinogenics. And until then, I've been your host, Adrian.
I'm still Zach.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I'm Mrs. Jeff McDonald.
Bye.
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 Yeah, like we told you in a
I tried to seduce you. Yeah,
pre-episode.
tried to seduce you, but
You did too good of a job, Zach. And so everybody, like, you said to go do it, and they were just so overcome. They, like, puddled. I meant, like, not that kind of, not that. That's not what I meant.
Phrasing.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Punchboard Media, where we all
Bring something
to the table.
pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.